All right, speaking of top prizes, Miss Iowa 2024 is ready for the next top prize. She's headed to the Miss America pageant this weekend to represent Iowa, and it's well-deserved. Abigaille Batu-Tiako is a college All-American long jumper. She's a musician. I mean, the list goes on, really. All this means, though, is that she's staying really, really busy, but today she is carving some time out for us. Abby, so nice to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. I know it's such a busy time.
Yeah.
I want to start with how you got into this.
Yeah. Honestly, it was through sisterhood. Former Miss Iowa, Alyssa Gothi, had reached out to me when I was 19 years old and I was competing for a different organization. I had lost that pageant that I was in, and she knew that I needed something, the Miss America opportunity. She knew that it would be beneficial for myself, and essentially she was just recruiting her own competition. And that to me shows sisterhood. She knew that this would be life-changing for me, and I'm very grateful for her and the conversation that we had.
Speaking of changing lives, a part of this program, part of this is a community service initiative.
Yes.
What is yours?
My community service initiative is the United Voices, and it allows BIPOC students to have an environment where they can speak on mental health issues, speak on success, their upbringing, and not feel guilty for doing so. I grew up in a predominantly white area, and being first-generation American, I have the pleasure of being American and being of Congolese descent. So for me, culture is very important, but I never really got that opportunity to just showcase who I was. Honestly, I felt quite discouraged to be truly who I was and authentic growing up. And it wasn't until my sister was coming into high school and I really noticed that I needed to set an example and I couldn't let myself be the victim anymore. So the United Voices allows me to showcase who I am and share my culture with others.
Can you talk a little bit about your family influence on that? Because you come from a big family.
Yes, I do come from a big family. So my mother, she came to America at just 19 years old. And the rest of the family, they went to Belgium. So she's the oldest of 7. Of course, she had to be a rebel and move out here. Honestly, seeing her just be resilient and want everything that this country could offer, that is the reason why I'm able to stand proudly as Miss Iowa today.
All right, how do you prepare? I mean, you've been preparing for years now, it sounds like. But how do you prepare for this next big competition? Are there nerves? Are you nervous?
Right now, I would say no. And it's because I know who I am, and I think it's extremely important for all pageant girls, and honestly, all women in America, to understand when you know who you are, no one can tell you differently. So I'm stepping into this role confident that the judges will either see me and I'll be their cup of tea, or I won't.
And I mean, you spoke about women. I think there's probably a lot of young girls who are looking at you and maybe looking up to you. Do you have maybe some specific advice for them?
One thing that I would tell them is that there will be joy in the morning. I have experienced homelessness. I remember being in a 2-bedroom motel room with 5 family members. It's a lot. It doesn't matter your upbringing. It doesn't matter where you've come from. If you have motivation and you turn that into discipline, you too can achieve your dreams.
Okay, I found your bucket list. Fun to kind of look at. You have a bucket list for the next 5 years.
I do.
What's on that list?
I would love to skydive in Hawaii. Shout out to my one-way crew. We're adventurous. We've gone to California and done some crazy things.
Have you skydived before?
No. Oh my gosh, no. But you know
you're
what?
Prepared for it.
One day I will. And that's honestly what it's about. It's about taking the chance. So we'll see if I'm in the airplane if I decide to jump off or not.
But you're in Hawaii, so
Yeah. And the next one would be to have a tiny house. I love tiny houses. Fun fact, they are environmentally friendly, so I recommend it. And lastly, I haven't seen my grandfather in over 20 years, so I would just love to go to Belgium, visit my family members. My aunt and niece my aunt and cousin actually are coming from Belgium to watch me compete at Miss America in Orlando, Florida. They must have landed right about now, to be honest. So it's quite exciting to see new family members and have them, you know?
How are they feeling?
They're excited. I can feel their support, and my grandfather, I just have his words repeating in my head to be bold and courageous, and that is why I can't be nervous.
I bet you they're more nervous than you are, though.
Oh.
I feel like Iowans are going to be nervous for you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Honestly, being an athlete, I've just developed this eye of a tiger mentality. I am a go-getter and I am a doer, and that's exactly what I'm bringing to the Miss America platform.
Very nice. We are very proud of you. Thank you for
Thanks so
representing us
much.
so well.
Thank
and thanks
you.
for taking some time for us today.
Thank you so much.
Of course. All right, the Miss America competition is Sunday, January 5th. So, of course, best of luck to Abigail. James?